Hello and welcome to FPL Mates, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2020-21 season. My name is Dan and today I've got for you a Game Week 26 team selection video. A team selection video where we're on, of course, this massive, unprecedented double game week. So we're going to be talking all about my personal double game week team today. Also going over how I did last week, what kind of captains I'm thinking for this week, and what transfers am I going to be making to make the most of this insane party of all of these doubles. All of that to come today, guys. If you do enjoy this video, please do smash the like button. Really appreciate that. And subscribe if you are new around here. But before we go on to my scores from Game Week 25, a quick word from our sponsor today. And it is, of course, OneFootball. Now, for those of you who don't know what OneFootball is, it's a great app / website for all things football. I personally use the OneFootball mobile app just to check up on scores. Lots of European football going on at the moment. Well, maybe I want to check some of the European football games when I'm not watching the Premier League games. You know, so much football going on at the moment. It's not going to stop all the way to the end of the season. It really has gone crazy. So OneFootball is definitely a really useful app or website, depending on your preference, that you do want to have to make sure you're up to date with all of your football. It's completely free. Go check it out. The link is in my description. Why not? Why not, guys? Why not? So here's how I got on with Game Week 25, 74 points total, took a -4. We have had a small rank drop, lost about 16,000 places. I don't think that's a disaster, all things considered. This kind of game week seemed like it was defined by the haves and the have-nots of Stuart Dallas. Stuart Dallas, wow. Nobody saw that and they scored quite that big coming. I mean, we knew he had the occasional goal in him, but Leeds' defence, we kind of thought, oh, will they keep a clean sheet? I don't know about that. We probably thought there'd probably be goals in the Leeds versus Southampton game. Turns out Leeds kept a clean sheet. So, yeah, huge week for Dallas. Congratulations to all of you Stuart Dallas owners. But as someone who didn't own Stuart Dallas, this was a bit of a struggle of a week. But we did get through it with only the smallest of red arrows, so I'm not too worried about that. In other ways, I kind of find that I was maybe a little bit unlucky in Game Week 25. I can't say I was unlucky with Danny Ings. That was just a fail. You know, I brought him in hoping that he'd get something good over the double game week. It didn't happen. That's just a fail. I can't claim that I was unlucky on that one. These things happen. You know, it's just one of those things. But I feel like sort of with Ben White, I brought him in with a real expectation that against Crystal Palace, Brighton would keep that clean sheet. And they really looked like they should have kept a clean sheet as well. I think they conceded, well, they did concede 2 goals, but their expected goals conceded was something like 0.2. You know, something really low, because Crystal Palace just scored wonder goals to ruin the Ben White clean sheet. So that kind of felt a little bit unlucky. You know, a clean sheet that was there for the taking, but, you know, through wonder goals, through a really low XG, you know, it didn't work out. So I kind of felt unlucky there. The other way I felt a little bit unlucky was Rafinha captain. Now, guys, I've been hyping up Rafinha captain all Game Week 25. It did turn out he was probably the best of the captain choices. Obviously, you could say in hindsight, oh, I wish I captained Stuart Dallas or something like that. But out of the actual genuine captain options, Rafinha turned out, he turned out to be the one. So looked really good consistently. The problem was, he should have got so many more returns. I don't know if any of you guys watched Rafinha play, if you watched the Leeds games. He was creating chance after chance after chance, huge chances over and over again, and nobody was finishing off these chances whatsoever. He sort of had a header that could have been a goal. He had, you know, all through the double game week, he just looked amazing. Like the most insane player, like prime Messi kind of insane talent like that. Like he was amazing, particularly in his creativity. And also, you know, with his goal, his shooting as well. So he looked amazing, and I kind of do feel robbed. And guys, if you have Rafinha in your team as well, you should feel robbed with 12 points as well, because honestly, he could have had, you know, a 20-pointer, a 25-pointer either. Honestly, he could have had about, you know, 7 or 8 goal contributions during the double game week. Easily, like no doubts about it. But like I said, guys, it kind of is what it is. We do move. It's not a horrendous score. And I don't feel like I'm in a horrible position. We're still in roughly the right areas we want to be, and we're going to hopefully push on with this double game week, and, you know, the blank game week to come up as well. A couple more little mini double game weeks. So we're still in a good position moving forward. A couple of risks I took this game week. Some worked, some didn't. but we're going to keep playing aggressive. We're going to keep playing risky because we do want to push this rank up right up into the top 100k. So yeah, I guess we go on to what kind of risks are we going to play in game week 26 to try and really get to those right places that we want to be. Let's go. So let's just run through the whole team. I've got nothing in the bank, so, you know, how am I going to use the transfers? You know, I'm going to have to get a bit creative with this, but, you know, I've got this covered, guys, don't worry. But we'll start off in goal with Emi Martinez. Leeds away, it's Sheffield United away. Two pretty good fixtures. Leeds I am a little bit worried about. Honestly, in general, Aston Villa, their expected goals conceded is actually pretty high right now. I am expecting Aston Villa to concede a couple of goals. Maybe not against Sheffield United because they're Sheffield United, you know. But also, they do have the Martinez factor, who has just been an absolute legend. He makes so many saves that he kind of does keep Aston Villa in the games, even if they are conceding a lot of shots, a lot of chances kind of thing. So not massively worried about that there. And I do think as a double game week, this is actually pretty good for Aston Villa. Really quite nice, actually. So happy with that. Happy with Martinez. So let's move on to into defence. We'll start off with Cancelo. West Ham United at home. A good defensive fixture, you would say. Wolves at home. Another good defensive fixture, you'd say. So two really nice fixtures for Cancelo. Pep Guardiola has come out in I think in his press conference or whatever it was last night, saying Cancelo, you know, he's playing amazingly. He can play every single game. He can play tomorrow if he needs to play. You know, despite just playing in the Champions League, he can play. He got an assist as well. Maybe, you know, that's kind of a good sign. He's just like really highly rated, not just by me but by pretty much everyone in the FPL community right now. We absolutely love him. So we do like Cancelo. We do think that he is going to be playing pretty regular football as well. I would not be surprised if he plays both games in this double game week, which is more than I can say about my next pick, which is John Stones. He is John Stones. He is really cheap way into the Man City defence, but there is kind of this creeping doubt around whether he's going to play. I do think he'll play against West Ham because he was rested in the Champions League, so he probably plays this West Ham game alongside Diaz. Who knows with the Wolves game? Who knows? You know, you never know. You can get lucky, and maybe even Stones will play with Laporte, and Diaz will be the one who gets rested. If I'm really lucky, that will be what happens, but I don't know for sure. But hopefully, I'm pretty confident that Stones plays at least one of these games. Man City get clean sheets pretty much every single game, so you know, that's looking really good for Stones there. So I'll take at least one clean sheet from those two games, and yeah, that'll be pretty good. So moving on to Ben Mee, Tottenham away, Leicester home. These are not amazing fixtures, but I do think that it is worth noting that Spurs have really been struggling to score goals recently. In fact, I checked this out when I was kind of looking at who I'd want to captain and what kind of defenders I'd want in my team, that kind of stuff. I was looking, and it turns out that the Spurs have only scored more than one goal twice in their past 13 Premier League games. So in 13 Premier League games, they've only scored more than one goal on 2 occasions. Those 2 occasions were against Leeds when they were at their all-time low for, you know, conceding so many goals. And the other one was against West Brom. They scored 2 goals against West Brom. So Spurs aren't actually scoring as many goals as you might think that they probably should. Leicester is a little bit worrying, particularly when you're home against Leicester. Leicester actually better away. So I'm not sure what's going to happen here. There is every chance that one of those games is going to be a clean sheet, though. So fingers crossed for Ben Mee. Let's see what he can do. And then we've got White. He's got a single game week against West Brom, but you know, I feel unlucky with no clean sheet last game week. In the game weeks before, it was something like 5 clean sheets in 6 games, which, you know, is just crazy from Brighton. So Ben White is a player that I am expecting kind of thing to get a clean sheet here. So really kind of content with him there, even though he's on a single game week. He'll probably outscore a lot of the double game week defenders, to be fair, so that's fine. And then we'll move on to midfield with Salah, Sheffield United away, Chelsea at home. Sheffield United, obviously a lovely fixture. Chelsea at home, not such a nice fixture. A lot of people are kind of underestimating Salah a little bit at the moment. He is still top in the charts in terms of all of the shooting stats. You know, most shots, he's like second for shots in the box, most shots on target. You know, he's really high. He's got really high expected goals over the last 5 games. I don't think anyone beats him for expected goals over the last 5 game weeks. So Salah is topping loads and loads of different kind of stats there. So even though people are a little bit worried about him, maybe thinking he's not on the perfect form, he's performing in other competitions. He is getting, you know, maybe 1 goal in most games, if you look over the last 5 games. So he's not actually doing too badly. He's got 4 goals in the last 5 Premier League games. I think people are maybe have maybe slightly high expectations of Salah, maybe because he hasn't had a massive haul, because he's got a load of 7-pointers or whatever, and we've not seen like a big 15-pointer, and obviously we know that Liverpool are out of form as well. Maybe people are underestimating Salah a little bit, but I do still have the confidence in Salah, to be fair, so he's going to stay in the team. Then Bruno Fernandes, a player that you have to have confidence in because he just has this. He's just, I don't know how else to say it, but he's an absolute FPL god. Like, there's no other way of saying about it. He is incredible for your FPL team. He will get you those points. It really is absolute madness. He really is that good. Again, this Chelsea game, Chelsea are kind of a little bit annoying this game week because they're tripping up Salah, they're tripping up Bruno Fernandes, or blocking them, I guess, from having a really, really nice double game week, and instead making them have kind of a good double game week, but not an amazing double game week, because Chelsea are kind of that, you know, if you think of Manchester City as the top defensive team, the second top defensive team is kind of Chelsea, so that's kind of annoying, but whatever, we'll see what they can do there. I'm sure players like Salah, players like Bruno can do the business even against Chelsea. So we got Son next, who I am a little bit worried about. You know, I'm probably not gonna waste this transfer on Son, but he's certainly not a player I want to keep in my team long term. You know, as soon as I pull out my wild card in game week 31, Son's gonna be one of the first players on the chopping block. He's just not performing at all at the moment. He's not taking enough shots. He's not creating enough. He's just not looking good right now. Maybe I'll get really lucky and he turns it around in the double game week. Who knows? But, you know, I don't have huge expectations from Heung-min Son this game week. Not going to lie to you guys. And then finally, we've got Gundogan in the midfield there. West Ham United at home. Wolves at home again. Quite nice double game week fixtures. Hopefully, Gundogan plays both. The game time here is kind of the issue. A lot of people saying that maybe Gundogan is worse when KDB is on the pitch. If you look at the stats with Gundogan and KDB on the pitch at the same time, I'll tell you a slightly different story. Gundogan was really good even when he was playing alongside KDB, which is why when KDB got injured, I made the switch straight to Gundogan because I had already seen, and a lot of us had already seen, Gundogan's stats already look good whilst playing with KDB. So I don't think this is so suddenly, oh my god, KDB's back, Gundogan's going to be on for a 3-pointer, 2-pointer every single game from now on. Nah, he's still a really good player. He's still in really good form. So let's see what he can do. You know, if he can play a lot of minutes over this double game week, he's definitely going to be one of the highest scoring players, I would say. And then going up front, we've got Danny Ings, the failure of a double game week punt that happened last game week. I think I've got to shift him, to be honest, guys. I think he's got to go straight back out. It turned out that he didn't have a double game week this game week. We thought maybe he's going to have a double game week in 26. We weren't sure. It was either going to be Spurs against Fulham or Spurs against Southampton. Turned out that it was Fulham, and that means that Southampton relegated to a single game week in game week 26. Really, really disappointing, but whatever. We have to just swallow our pride and move on from that one, I'm afraid. That's a lot of money, 8.5 million, a lot of money to be spending on a forward, so we do need to switch that up. And then finally, DCL, who I actually am so excited about this game week. I really am. Southampton at home, West Brom away. You pretty much can't get better for attacking fixtures, right? You know, these are teams that concede a lot of goals, and we've got a player like DCL who is like the centerpiece of this Everton attack. You know, super high XG every game, takes loads of shots, really good in the air. Like, he's got everything right. You know, DCL has become kind of a bit of a legend over the past year, and we know that he's fit. We saw, you know, Ancelotti in his press conferences said, yes, DCL is ready to start a game. Let's go. So really happy about that. Really excited about that as well. So let's go onto the bench quickly. Pope, double game week here. Tottenham and Leicester there. Again, same with Ben Mee. How well is he going to do? I'm not 100% sure, but hopefully he can do something. You know, even if it's save points, we do like that, don't we? And Pope, if someone is scoring highly in that Burnley team, it's Nick Pope, right? We've got Rafinha on a single game week against Aston Villa. Oh, what a player right now. It's you know, it's a player you don't really want to bench. Bamford, you know, another player in form you don't want to bench. And Sofal against Man City away, a player I don't really want right now. Man City away is just, it's not really what we like, is it, guys? That's not really that good at all. And in general, West Ham just don't have very good fixtures in terms of their defenders. They're playing against some hard teams. You know, got Leeds coming up, Manchester United coming up, Arsenal in game week 29. I don't know. I'm not fully convinced by this at all, guys. So he's gonna have to go somewhere, I think. But anyway, guys, I think we go on to our transfers and then we talk about something else. But we'll get onto that in a second. So let's do transfers first. So, you know, I made it pretty obvious. Ings isn't a player that I don't really want. I don't want him anymore. I'm gonna swallow my pride. I'm just gonna get rid of him. You know, it's just got to be done. So Foul, player I don't want at all. The rest of the players, I kind of would want for the double game week. When you're going into a double game week, it feels kind of wrong to take out a double player and replace them with another double player when you can get rid of a single game week player and replace them with a double game week player, because you're not just adding a player to your team, you're adding in an entire extra game to your team. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on bringing in 2 players. We're going to take a hit because this is a big game week, and when you're talking about double game weeks, big game weeks like this, often it is worth taking a hit even in the short term. So we are going to try that, and like I said, we're playing risky anyway, we're playing aggressive, so no problems taking hits to try and attack these really nice sets of fixtures, these double game weeks. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be focusing on players who are guaranteed game time, or at least I think are guaranteed game time. And yeah, let's see what transfers we're going to make today. And let me tell you guys, the transfers are Digne in for Sofal, and obviously Watkins is coming in there for Ings as well to free up a bit of budget, so I could do that Digne upgrade there as well. So wow, okay, so we've got 2 players here, Digne and Watkins, who both have really nice double game week fixtures. Obviously Everton have got Southampton and West Brom, which I said I really like. Aston Villa have got Leeds and Sheffield United. You know, Leeds are a team we know can concede goals. Sheffield United, again, one of the teams lower down on the table when we're talking about the quality of the defence. So that's nice there as well. So really attacking this double game week. Obviously, this relegates Ben White onto my bench there. So now we have got a full first 11 of double game week players. We've got Nick Pope with a double game week on the bench as well. We've got Rafinha, Bamford, White with single game weeks, but each of them have really nice single game weeks. Another interesting thing about bringing in Watkins and Digne is that both of them have this potential to play a double game week in game week 28. There's a very small chance that the Aston Villa versus Everton game is rescheduled for game week 28, which would mean a double game week there. So I don't know how likely it is. It's probably pretty unlikely, but there is that possibility, and you know, I've got to take a chance and kind of take a punt on the possibility that does happen. Anyway, so guys, we're now basically in a situation where we've got the strongest bench I've had all season. I have peaked at the strength of my bench. You know, Nick Pope with a double game week. We've got Rafinha on absolute flames right now against an Aston Villa side that is actually not as good defensively as they have been previously in the season. We've got Bamford, again, the same situation with Aston Villa. Bamford is still scoring goals. We've got Ben White playing for a Brighton defence that he's keeping clean sheet after clean sheet after clean sheet, with the exception of a freak bit of Crystal Palace wonder goals against West Brom. Not exactly a team known for scoring a lot of goals. Maybe they score a couple of goals, but, you know, they're not like, it's not like a Liverpool or a Manchester United, is it? So, yeah, the bench is at its all-time peak of strength. So, I mean, there's one thing for it, guys, isn't there? There's one thing for it, and that is to play the bench boost. The bench boost is coming into play. Let's go. Let's get it, guys. The thing is, some of you guys will say, well, you've got three players there on your bench that don't have a double game week. Guys, it's not the end of the world. It's not all about just filling your team with double game week players. That is not really realistic. If I was to do that, then last game week I would have been down. I would have been short of my Leeds players. This game week, you know, I've still got my Leeds players who are in good form, so I still would want to play them. In an ordinary game week, if this was not a double game week, I would really want to play Rafinha, Bamford. I'd want to play White. I would want to play these players. And the fact that all of these double game weeks are happening basically means that I'm having to bench really good players. So why not just bench boost it? I'm never going to get to a 15. It's not going to happen. A 15 players all with doubles means that I've missed out on Leeds players last game week, and it also means that I'm going to really struggle for game week 29, where pretty much every team that plays a double now blanks in game week 29, with of course the exception of Spurs, Villa and Fulham. So this is it, guys. I mean, I could maybe make one more transfer, maybe take out a Rafinha or a Bamford, but honestly, guys, I probably have to take a hit to bring them back in later when we get to game week 29. I mean, you know, look at this team. There's actually quite a few players that are ready to go for game week 29 as well. We've got Martinez, we've got Son there, we've got Watkins, we've got Rafinha, Bamford, White. That's 6 players all ready to go for that game week 29 as well, so I can start working towards that. So it's not a bad situation. I'm not I don't really want to be taking out any more Leeds players because I do kind of want them still. I don't want to take them out just for the sake of one game week. It's a really strong bench, guys. I really think this is a strong bench. It's not the dream bench, but the dream bench would mean sacrifices in other game weeks. You know, it's one long season at the end of the day. You've got to take your total points at the end of the season. One game week does not define an entire season, but, you know, hopefully this bench boost can strike the right balance between really nice score this game week without making sacrifices last game week and making sacrifices in game week 29. So there we go, guys. That's what we're looking at. So quickly on captains, we're going to go for DCL because it's a little bit differential. At least I think it's a little bit differential. I'm not sure where people are going to land, but I just love these fixtures so much. Like I said, I'm really excited about DCL in this game. And then vice captain on Bruno Fernandes because he's kind of the safety pick as well. I wouldn't really want to be taking too many risks on players like Salah, who has just been so up and down recently. I know his kind of, you know, his underlying stats are quite good, but I'm just not quite ready to trust with the captaincy there quite yet. And Bruno Fernandes is just, you know, everyone picks Bruno Fernandes. It's the boring pick, and we're trying to play a bit risky, a bit aggressive, so let's go for DCL there. There you go, guys. That is the team. So thank you for watching today's video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please do leave a like and subscribe, of course, if you're new around here. Really appreciate that, guys. All the support is, of course, amazing as always. If you want to check out OneFootball, link is in the description, as I say. My Twitter, Instagram, you can join me on, or you can join my mini league if you want. You can join me on my Discord server and have a chat with me over there if you like. Loads of stuff all in the description, so do go check that stuff out if you like. Probably going to make a video tomorrow. I haven't 100% decided. I might take a day off, but probably I'll decide in the end. I'm actually going to make a video because I do like making videos, guys, but I thought maybe I'll play some Xbox instead. We'll see. We'll see. But then, of course, we're going to do a deadline stream on Saturday, so do not miss that one. It's going to be a huge deadline stream when we're talking about all of these double game weeks. We're going to be talking about, you know, answering your questions, who you're going to captain, trying to help you make your transfers the best of my ability. And, of course, check the backlog as well. A couple of other videos on Game Week 26 if you want to check those out as well. But there you go, guys. I think I've spoken enough for this video, so thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.